Hello, welcome back. So, this was a very long overdue video. Actually, of the trip I went back all the way in December, but I didn't have time to actually edit and put the vlog out. So, yeah, better late than never, yeah? So, first of all, including me, my two other friends, Yuvindu and Manula, we flew from Riga to Vienna, whereas other friends they flew from different places. So we could just call this maybe a annual friend trip, something like that. So yeah, so we first of all we landed in Vienna. So we just had around like 5 hours before we had to catch a train to Salzburg. So within the 5 hours, I guess the main thing which we did take a look at was the cathedral, because unfortunately, the day we flew, some of the sites that we wanted to visit were closed, and also we didn't have that much of time as well. So, considering that, we unfortunately only got to visit the cathedral. So this is the symbol of Vienna actually, and this cathedral is around 900 years old, and I think we probably spent around like 2 hours or so just walking around and just enjoying, and it was like quite unbelievable and fascinating how these like different structures were made. So yeah, I think this was like where we spent most of our time when we were in Vienna, and I think it was a really beautiful site to visit and definitely one of the must goes. So really good that we actually had at least some time to visit this. And considering the time that we had left in Vienna, our friend actually told us about this Christmas market. I would believe that this is also one of the more of a larger Christmas market in Vienna. So yeah, we just spent some time walking around, and it was really nice. Unfortunately, it was very cold since it was starting to get towards the night. But yeah, I think it was a really nice decision that we made to just go and take a look as to how a Christmas market is in another country rather than in Riga. And afterwards, we just went back to the city center because we had to catch the train from here. And actually, one of the main things which I can remember like vividly was the night view, especially around the cathedral. It was really, really beautiful. I think maybe the addition to this was the fact that it was like during the Christmas days, so it was quite a beautiful sight on us. And actually, I also got to visit the very infamous Vienna Bow. I saw this all around TikTok, Instagram, so I really, really wanted to visit this. And since it was like almost at nighttime, I we just decided to go and take a look. So afterwards, we went to catch a train to Salzburg because this is where most of our stay will be. Not in Vienna, but we will be in Salzburg. And Salzburg, also in Salzburg, we were in Kuchl. It is a small village, and it was a really, really beautiful and a peaceful village. And I think it was like so like freedom and yeah, just wow. So we on the first day, like in Kuchel, back Kuchel, we just took around the mall, looked at it. We went to the Mirabelle Garden, but unfortunately, it was in the night time. We did plan to go to the Mirabelle Gardens again the next day, but unfortunately, we didn't have time, so we couldn't see that. But we just walked around Salzburg city because by this time we were waiting for our other friends who were coming from Germany. So until they arrived, we were just walking around the city as well as looking at the Christmas markets and all. And I think there was a small snowfall as well. I'm not sure whether it caught on the camera. So yeah. So now I would say the trip officially began because everyone was back in school. So that day we just rested, and the very next day we were on the way to Hallstatt. So I think it was quite a ride. We had to take a train and then go to Salzburg city, and from there we had to, I think, catch another bus or something. I genuinely cannot remember exactly, but it was definitely like couple hours of a ride, but I would say definitely worth it. And unfortunately, I guess that we couldn't like walk that much in Hallstatt again. It was so cold, because this was like probably like during. So I think, as I remember, this was like the 23rd or the 24th of December, and it was very cold for us. I think maybe even besides compared to Riga, it was pretty cold in Vienna, Hallstatt, in Austria, pretty much. We don't know as to why, but yeah. And yeah, so there was snow as well because it was, of course, obviously cold. But we did have a look around like Hallstatt. We walked around and everything. And yeah. So Hallstatt was an amazing experience. I would say one of the best I had throughout this entire trip. And moving on to the next day, since we were all like very tired from the constant traveling and flying, we just decided to stay in Kuhl on the fourth day and just walk around and just take a look and just enjoy the day together. So yeah. So the very next day, we decided to go back again to Salzburg because we were planning to visit the city and as well as the castle. So the day five, we spent the entire day in Salzburg. So this was the view from the Salzburg castle, and also there's like this puppet museum inside the Salzburg castle. So we just spent some time walking around and just enjoying the views and the architecture, of course. And here comes day six and the final day. So we left early in the morning from Kuchl, then we came to Salzburg and then to Vienna. So we had a couple of hours again until we catch our flight. So we decided to visit this museum, like National Library as well. Unfortunately, I was quite disappointed as well because I expected it to be a bit bigger, and I guess like I went with a lot of expectations, and it didn't quite reach my like expectations, I would say. But it was really nice to see, of course, the architecture once again, and yeah, quite fascinating it was. So, with this, it comes to the end of this vlog, and here we are going back home. Everyone just left their own countries. Thank you for watching. See you on another video.